Thank you all, first of all, for being here. The second is that we're certainly excited about the kicking off the football season on Saturday. We've got the largest video board in college football, 10,000 square feet. It's about almost a quarter of an acre of a screen up there. About 800 tons of steel, about 40,000 bolts. It's a big deal, and you need to make sure that you get to the stadium early. But we're going to have, if you can believe it or not, we're going to have an unveiling of the video board around 10 o'clock, something along that time. So when you first get there, it's going to look a little different than maybe you would expect. But we're looking forward to launching that. Not only in addition to the video board, but we spent over almost $2 million in the public address system as well. So when we did surveys over the last few years that we do every year in focus groups and listening groups, a couple of things that people wanted us to do differently was our public address system and our video board, along with the concessions and Wi-Fi. And obviously in those first two, we take care of those in a very big way. So we're excited about that. Hey, a couple of things I did want to share with you is that a lot of Auburn people were involved in this construction of this video board. Our engineer of record is Brad Christopher. He's an Auburn graduate. Architect, played football here, Yan Cowart. The Shea family of Birmingham. Richard played here in the late '80s, early '90s, and his daughter's on the softball team. They did the support system. Him and his dad, Dick Shea, and Dick was instrumental in making sure that we got this thing placed in time. But they also gave us the video board at softball. We're thankful for the Shays and their contribution to athletics in this process. For university facilities, we have two Auburn graduates there, Gregory Forthhother and Wendy Peacock. They're both, as I said, Auburn graduates. And Steve Hanley of Brassville and Gorey, he was a construction manager and the quarterback of this project. And Steve has two children here at Auburn, and of course the company's founder, Mr. Gorey, Miller Gorey, is one of our most successful alums. So it was an Auburn project through and through. We're excited about what we're going to see on Saturday. Also coming this weekend, on Thursday at noon, we'll have the young scholars, now to be third graders from Chicago, the New Schmidt Elementary School. They'll be here on Thursday, and we've got all kinds of things lined up for them. They're going to ride horses at the equestrian center. They're going to go to the fisheries. They're going to get to visit with professors and coaches and student athletes and do a whirlwind of things. It's interesting that we're bringing these young people down, these scholars that they're referred to in their school, and a lot of them never have left their neighborhood. And getting them on a Delta flight out of Chicago on Thursday with their chaperones and getting them back we certainly do appreciate Delta working with us to do that. And what a great experience they're going to have here. Whether any of them ever come to school at Auburn, to college or not here at Auburn, doesn't really matter. The thing that we want to do is we want to show them that a college education is within their grasp if they'd like to ever attend school. And that's exactly what their teachers were trying to do by having these college days once a year where they were learning about schools and institutions and universities. So it's a lot of fun. Pending, the third thing I'll mention to you, then answer any questions if you have any. Pending, we have a ticket sellout announcement. For the first time in over 20 years, we're completely sold out of tickets before we kick the home game off. We've got a few Ole Miss tickets that were returned to us to sell. Other than that, we're completely out. So that's exciting. And when sometimes people ask questions about how do we sell tickets that get returned to us. What we started a couple years ago was a program called Bellina, so all of our donors could go in at a certain time and pick the tickets they wanted. So we took technology and advanced it here in our ticket office so that people actually pick and move their tickets where they'd like them to be, depending upon their priority order. The next thing that we're starting this year is a new program that people sign up for. It's called Reply By, B-U-Y, Reply By. And if you sign up for that service, and for example, if at the last minute a school returns some tickets, or we don't have as many prospective student athletes showing up as we thought they were early in the week, or if some high school coaches, not as many of them come to that game, then we can text you that we have these tickets, and you can actually just buy them right there over your iPhone. So we'll make sure that we have all those tickets sold before the game starts as well. So that's another great service that we're providing to our ticket holders. So, and you can certainly learn more about that as we release that information. But the sellout is a pending announcement that will probably happen today, and we're excited about that. So those are the three main areas I want to touch on. Was the game day experience is one of our 5 goals, and in order to have a great game day experience, you have to do things like spend $14 million on a video board, ribbon board that we've extended on both sides, and a public address system. And certainly the excitement of the football team has helped us sell these tickets out, and I think also the excitement around one of the best, if not the best, game day experiences in the nation has helped sell these out. We want people to come to Auburn, to come to football games, and to all of our athletic events. That's why that I'm going to insist we continue to invest in surveys, find out what our fans want, and respond to those. And that's what we've done over the last several years, and we'll continue to do, with the cost of bottled water being cut in half, with the cost of hot dogs being cut 25%, our 2 top sellers, and establishing things that we'll talk more about at any time you'd like to. Restaurant Row that we're opening up in the stadium this year for the first time, different specialty items there. And one of my all-time favorites is we've gone from about 8 funnel cake kiosks to 24. So it'll be a fun time. If anybody needs a few extra calories on Saturday, make sure you get yourself a funnel cake and get it loaded up with whipped cream, and you can put strawberries on there if you want to feel a little bit healthy. So anyway, those are just some things I want to touch on. Anybody have any questions for me about this or anything else?
Jay, I want to ask about, how did you get hooked up with the school from Chicago? How did that come about?
That came about through social media. They've been doing, this was the 4th year they've been conducting this competition amongst their school. Each grade picked a institution, a university or a college, and they learned all they could about it. And then they had people from the school board, I believe it was, come in and judge the classrooms as to who won. Well, this year, the 2nd grade teacher, she's actually married to an Auburn graduate. So she chose Auburn this year. And by the way, this 2nd grade teacher's won every year, and her class has won every year. And so they picked Auburn, and then it went viral. And all of us began to see it, maybe like many of you did. And when I saw it, I said, I want to go see them. And by the time we got there, or by the time I was able to get there, school was out, but the teacher said, the principal said, come on anyway, because they all live within a few blocks here. And so they got them all back in school that afternoon, I guess about July the 8th. And I called Bo and asked him to meet me there, and certainly took Aubrey up. But that's how it came about, was through social media. And what a great thing these teachers and these students at Schmidt Elementary are doing. They're trying to elevate these scholars' vision and aspirations and hopes and dreams. And we're just so excited to be a very small part of that.
Can you talk about the kids' response when you got them there to visit?
Yeah, the kids' response was, it was hard for me to believe how appreciative they were of it. Sometimes in today's society, you don't hear the great stories of heartfelt thanks and appreciation, because I think that we try to move so quickly and have an expectation that may be unrealistic. But these young boys and girls, these young scholars, every time we announce something, their face and their reaction just got bigger and more positive. I'd like to do it every year. I'd like to institute a program like that every year, starting right here in Lee County and maybe throughout the state of Alabama, because they were so appreciative and their parents were so appreciative. Some of these children have never been out of their neighborhood, and to be able to put them on a Delta flight and get them down here with chaperones, it's going to be a truly memorable experience for them, and we'll all be blessed by seeing the joy and appreciation that sometimes we may take for granted. We'll see it in their eyes and hear it in their voices and feel it in their heart. What else? Anything?
Jay, off topic, but there was obviously reports a couple of weeks ago, going back to the Wall Street Journal story, about you and Gary Waters meeting with the provost a couple of years ago regarding the public administration program, offering to subsidize that program. Can you explain why that offer was made?
Well, first of all, if anybody thinks that athletics has any influence on academic programs, you obviously don't know Auburn very well here at our place. And why wouldn't the athletic director and the head of academics go and fight for our student athletes regardless of what major they're in? And so, but the provost and the dean, they made those decisions without our involvement. But certainly we need more and more programs that fit the goals and dreams of our students. And certainly I represent those goals and dreams of those student athletes that I have the stewardship of. So as was found out, there was no wrongdoing. Nobody did anything wrong. Nobody was trying to do anything wrong. But we have to continue to find ways to have programs that fit what our students want to major in, so they can go on and be successful. So
you don't think there's any kind of conflict of interest there when athletics is offering to fund any kind of academic program where its athletes are involved?
not in this case whatsoever. I mean, that's the tough thing, James. I mean, people say, athletics has this money, so give back to the institution. Now you're saying we shouldn't give back to the institution. I mean, what you have to have is institutional confidence, and to say that any part outside of the academic system could have an influence on it, you have a problem institutionally. And it's obvious that from our provost and our dean and others, we don't have that issue.
No concern about it targeting a specific program though, because most universities give to a general fund for the university and they do with it as they see fit. But in this case, it's focused solely on one major, one program.
Right, but we never gave them any money.
We have time for a couple more questions.
With the scoreboard and the finding the people from Auburn, Auburn alum, I mean, did they reach out to you to help, or did you reach out to them?
Excuse me, what now? The people that are working on it?
Yeah, the architect. I mean, what was it, a mutual? How did you kind of locate them, or kind of talk about how that came up?
Well, it was all bid. Brassfield and Gorey and our architect was all awarded through our facilities division, Dan King. And the two university employees that work for facilities, Wendy and Gregory, they happen to be Auburn graduates. And so it just goes to show that we got a lot of smart people. And our institution's accustomed to hiring smart people, and a bunch of them have Auburn degrees.
Jay, is there any update on anything else that might be going on at the stadium in the future?
Not at this time, Mark. We're still working on a renovation of the north end zone. Matter of fact, I just left a meeting just a minute ago to come down here and be with you all. We're still looking at that. If the pro forma works and we can enhance the overall game day experience for everybody in the north end and do something there, that's what I'd like to do. We have to keep pushing every day to make sure that our facilities, in order to have the best game day experience in the nation and the best student athlete experience in the nation, we have to keep pushing every day. But we're going to do it with business mind. We're going to do what makes sense to Auburn, what makes sense financially. I think we'll end up there, Mark, in some form or fashion. I'm excited about what I've seen today so far, but in announcing that we're completely sold out, unlike a lot of other institutions today, it's exciting. But with the competition of the television and so many other things that people do, we have to be smart about what we do next. And so our plan would not involve adding a lot of seats. It would be enhancing the current seats that we have and trying to create some amenities for stands, for people that sit in stands throughout the stadium. Whether that's a place to come get something, get out of the heat or get out of the cool, get a cup of hot chocolate, whatever it may be, or a place to socialize, which is so popular here at Auburn. We need to try to enhance all of those things to make the overall game day experience better. But we'll do it based on a business model. That's how we'll do it.
Jay, is there still a big demand for premium type seating?
There is. We've sold more what we call our scholarship club level seats into the stands this year than we've ever sold before. So people are buying a seat, paying a premium for it, and sitting in the bowl of the stadium. So we continue to have that challenge, which is a good challenge to have.
What was the final tally? Was it about 14 million on the video board?
Yeah, about 14 million.
What's going to go on the back of the
Here's the
video board,
last one.
Jay, where the ribbon boards were? Is there still plans to do something to the back of the board?
The question was, what's going to go on the back of the board where those two places are? What we're gonna do is, for protection of the video board for the rest of this season, in a couple of weeks, we're gonna put banners up there to cover those exposed steel. But what my vision is that when they first showed this to me, the mock-up of the back of it, you know, we had the AU in the middle, which we have, but we also had 2 advertisements, one on either side. I didn't like that. It is probably the biggest billboard in the state of Alabama, maybe the southeast. So I said, what can we do different there? So my plan is to come back and put LED boards on each side, so that you know, if there's a baseball game or graduation, we can announce. We can have announcements up there to enhance the overall experience of the campus with that LED. Whether we could actually show a game back there, probably not. Maybe we could show a video pre-game of the prior week's game. We could do stuff to enhance the whole campus experience. So that's what the plan is right now. That's what I'd like to end up with, is some 2 LED boards back there.